Trying to
Ten,
copyright? Yep.
one.
Awesome.
Do you believe it? Vera asked. She and Phil Lombard sat on the window sill of the living room. Outside, the rain poured down, and the wind howled in great shuddering gusts against the window panes. Philip Lombard cocked his head slightly to one side before answering. Then he said, "You mean, do I believe that old Wargrave is right when he says it's one of us?" "Yes," Philip Lombard said slowly. "It's difficult to say. Logically, you know, he's right. And yet," Vera took the words out of his mouth, "and yet it seems so incredible." Philip Lombard made a grimace. "The whole thing's incredible. But after MacArthur's death, there's no more doubt as to one thing. There's no question now of accidents or suicides. It's definitely murder. 3 murders up to date." Vera shivered. She said, "It's like some awful dream. I keep feeling that things like this can't happen." He said with understanding, "I know. Presently a tap will come on the door, and early morning tea will be brought in." Vera said, "Oh, how I wish that could happen." Philip Lombard said gravely, "Yes, but it won't. We're all in the dream, and we've got to be pretty much upon our guard from now on." Vera said, lowering her voice, If it is one of them, which do you think it is?" Philip Lombard grinned suddenly. He said, "I take it you are accepting our 2 selves. Well, that's all right. I know very well that I'm not the murderer, and I don't fancy that there's anything insane about you, Vera. You strike me as being one of the sanest and most level-headed girls I've come across. I'd stake my reputation on your sanity." With a slightly wry smile, Vera said, "Thank you." He said, "Come now, Miss Vera Claythorne. Aren't you going to return the compliment?" Vera hesitated a minute. Then she said, "You've admitted, you know, that you don't hold human life particularly sacred. But all the same, I can't see you as the man who dictated that gramophone record." Lombard said, "Quite right. If I were to commit 1 or more murders, it would be solely for what I could get out of them. This mass clearance isn't my line of country." "Good. Then we'll eliminate ourselves and concentrate on our 5 fellow prisoners. Which of them is UN Owen? Well, at a guess, and with absolutely nothing to go upon, I'd plump for Wargrave." "Oh?" Vera sounded surprised. She thought a minute or two, and then said, "Why?" "Hard to say exactly. But to begin with, he's an old man, and he's been presiding over courts of law for years. That is to say, he's played God Almighty for a good many months every year."
Would Anna Martinez please come to the office? Also, there was an iPod case found in the gymnasium. If you lost one, please come to the office. Thank you.
That must go to a man's head, eventually. He gets to see himself as all-powerful, as holding the power of life and death. And it's possible that his brain might snap, and he might want to go one step farther and be executioner and judge extraordinary. Vera said slowly, "Yes, I suppose that's possible." Lombard said, "Who do you plump for?" Without any hesitation, Vera answered, "Dr. Armstrong." Lombard gave a low whistle. "The doctor, eh? You know, I should have put him last of all." Vera shook her head. "Oh, no. 2 of the deaths have been poison. That rather points to a doctor. And then you can't get over the fact that the only thing we are absolutely certain Mrs. Rogers had was the sleeping draught that he gave her." Lombard admitted, "Yes, that's true." Vera persisted. "If a doctor went mad, it would be a long time before anyone suspected, and doctors overwork and have a lot of strain." Philip Lombard said, Yes, but I doubt if he could have killed MacArthur. He wouldn't have had time during that brief interval when I left him. Not, that is, unless he fairly hared down there and back again. And I doubt if he's in good enough training to do that and show no signs of it. Vera said, he didn't do it then. He had an opportunity later. When? When he went down to call the general to lunch. Philip whistled again very softly. He said, So you think he did it then? Pretty cool thing to do. Vera said impatiently, What risk was there? He's the only person here with medical knowledge. He can swear the body's been dead at least an hour, and who's to contradict him? Philip looked at her thoughtfully. You know, he said, that's a clever idea of yours. I wonder. 2. Who is it, Mr. Blore? That's what I want to know. Who is it? Roger's face was working. His hands were clenched round the polishing leather that he held in his hand. Ex-Inspector Blore said, My lad, that's the question. One of us, his lordship says. Which one? That's what I want to know. Who's the fiend in human form? That, said Blore, is what we would all like to know. Roger said shrewdly, But you've got an idea, Mr. Blore. You've got an idea, haven't you? I may have an idea, said Blore slowly, but that's a long way from being sure. I may be wrong. All I can say is that, if I'm right, the person in question is a very cool customer. A very cool customer indeed. Rogers wiped the perspiration from his forehead. He said hoarsely, It's like a bad dream, that's what it is. Blore said, looking at him curiously, Got any ideas yourself, Rogers? The butler shook his head. He said hoarsely, I don't know. I don't know at all. And that's what's frightening the life out of me, to have no idea. 3. Dr. Armstrong said violently, We must get out of here. We must. We must, at all costs. Mr. Justice Wargrave looked thoughtfully out of the smoking room window. He played with the cord of his eyeglasses. He said, I do not, of course, profess to be a weather prophet, but I should say that it is very unlikely that a boat could reach us, even if they knew of our plight, in under 24 hours, and even then, only if the wind drops. Dr. Armstrong dropped his head in his hands and groaned. He said, And in the meantime, we may all be murdered in our beds. I hope not, said Mr. Justice Wargrave. I intend to take every possible precaution against such a thing happening. It flashed across Dr. Armstrong's mind that an old man like the judge was far more tenacious of life than a younger man would be. He had often marveled at that fact in his professional career. Here was he, junior to the judge by perhaps 20 years, and yet with a vastly inferior sense of self-preservation. Mr. Justice Wargrave was thinking, Murdered in our beds. These doctors are all the same. They think in cliches, a thoroughly commonplace mind. The doctor said, There have been 3 victims already, remember? Certainly, but you must remember that they were unprepared for the attack. We are forewarned. Dr. Armstrong said bitterly, What can we do? Sooner or later. I think, said Mr. Justice Wargrave, that there are several things we can do. Armstrong said, We've no idea, even, who it can be. The judge stroked his chin and murmured, Oh, you know, I wouldn't quite say that. Armstrong stared at him. Do you mean you know? Mr. Justice Wargrave said cautiously, As regards actual evidence, such as is necessary in court, I admit that I have none, but it appears to me, reviewing the whole business, that one particular person is sufficiently clearly indicated. Yes, I think so. Armstrong stared at him. He said, I don't understand. 4. Miss Brent was upstairs in her bedroom. She took up her Bible and went to sit by the window. She opened it. Then, after a minute's hesitation, she set it aside and went over to the dressing table.
Oh.
From a drawer in it, she took out a small black covered notebook.
What?
She opened it and began
No.
writing. A terrible thing has happened. General MacArthur is dead. His cousin married Elsie Macpherson. There is no doubt, Christing's speech. He is convinced that the murderer is one of us. That means that one of us is possessed by a devil. I had already suspected that. Which of us is it? They are all asking themselves that. I alone know. She
What?
sat for some time without moving. Her eyes grew vague and filmy. The pencil straggled drunkenly in her fingers. In shaking loose capitals, she wrote, The murderer's name is Beatrice Taylor. Her eyes closed. Suddenly, with a start, she awoke.
What?
She looked down at the notebook. With an angry exclamation, she scored through the vague, unevenly scrawled characters of the last sentence. She said in a low voice, Did I write that? Did I? I must be going mad. 5. The storm increased. The wind howled against the side of the house. Everyone was in the living room. They sat listlessly huddled together, and surreptitiously they watched each other. When Rogers brought in the tea tray, they all jumped. He said, Shall I draw the curtains? It would make it more cheerful like.
Ow.
Excuse me.
Ow.
Receiving an assent to this, the curtains were drawn and the lamps turned on. The room grew more cheerful. A little of the shadow lifted. Surely by tomorrow the storm would be over and someone would come. A boat would arrive. Vera Claythorne said, Will you pour out tea, Miss Brent? The elder woman replied, No, you do it, dear. That teapot is so heavy, and I have lost 2 skeins of my gray knitting wool. So annoying. Vera moved to the tea table. There was a cheerful rattle and clink of china. Normality returned. Tea. Bless ordinary, everyday afternoon tea. Philip Lombard made a cheery remark. Blore responded. Dr. Armstrong told a humorous story. Mr. Justice Wargrave, who ordinarily hated tea, sipped approvingly. Into this relaxed atmosphere came Rogers, and Rogers was upset. He said nervously and at random, Excuse me, sir, but does anyone know what became of our bathroom curtain? Lombard's head went up with a jerk. The bathroom curtain? What the devil do you mean, Rogers? It's gone, sir. Clean vanished. I was going round drawing all the curtains, and the one in the bathroom wasn't there any longer. Mr. Justice Wargrave asked, Was it there this morning? Oh, yes, sir. Blore said, What kind of a curtain was it? Scarlet oil silk, sir. It went with the scarlet tiles. Lombard said, And it's gone? Gone, sir. They stared at each other. Blore said heavily, Well, after all, what of it? It's mad, but so's every...
26 I have to go. Kasi as soon as I drop it off, I can start working. Oh yeah. Pero yung 27, definitely I'm taking a day off.
Ah.
Okay. Explain it to me. How your thing gonna work.
What do you mean?
Nagpagupit ka?
No.
Ano yun?
What?
Ano yan? Ano yan? Ay, Mario Josep na naganap na ng noise making na naman. Okay, question.
What?
So, 8 o'clock, sa school ka.
Yep.
Kailangan.
Yep.
Hanggang
For rehearsal for the
hanggang anong
thing.
oras?
Oh, yeah. So they don't know. So it's just I think I don't
Okay.
remember.
I guess my question
It's
is,
no, it's like an
makinig ka
estimated
muna. My
time.
question is, do I have to wait for you?
Oh no, you don't have to wait.
Okay. So I can go home after that. I
Yeah.
drop you off. And I pick you up by 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because you need to be home before 1 o'clock.
Yeah. I need to set up.
Okay. Because I need to be there by 12. So by the time we get home, it's 12:30.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, okay.
So I need to pick him up by 11:30. So he needs to be back by 12. He needs to be home by 12. Okay.
Well, I don't take an hour to eat.
That's why I'm trying. He'll be home by 12:30.
Yeah, and I can eat, and then I set it up.
I just want to make sure. Kasi ikaw ang magsisend ng email sa kanila to let them know that you need to leave by this time.
Oh no, no, no. So we go there, and then we just tell them I need to leave because I have an AP
I
test.
know, but the thing is like,
No, because they already know.
dude, mga medyas naman, ano ba yan?
They already know.
Basta
They already know that some people have AP tests.
eh, yung mga medyas andun pa.
They already know that some people have AP exam.
Yeah, I get it. That's what I'm trying to figure it out. Because if I can, okay, I'll pick you up by 12:45.
What?
I mean 11:45.
Okay.
So you'll be home by 12:15. Yeah, pretty much. And then I'll work the rest of the day.
Everything else. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You can't kill anybody with an oil silk curtain. Forget about it. Roger said, "Yes, sir. Thank you, sir." He went out, shutting the door behind him. Inside the room, the pall of fear had fallen anew. Again, surreptitiously, they watched each other. 6. Dinner came, was eaten, and cleared away. A simple meal, mostly out of tins. Afterwards, in the living room, the strain was almost too great to be borne. At 9 o'clock, Emily Brent rose to her feet. She said, "I'm going to bed." Vera said, "I'll go to bed too." The two women went up the stairs, and Lombard and Bloor came with them. Standing at the top of the stairs, the two men watched the women go into their respective rooms and shut the doors. They heard the sound of two bolts being shot and the turning of two keys. Bloor said with a grin, "No need to tell 'em to lock their doors." Bloor said, "Well, they're all right for the night at any rate." He went down again, and the other followed him. 7. The four men went to bed an hour later. They went up together. Rogers, from the dining room where he was setting the table for breakfast, saw them go up. He heard them pause on the landing above. Then the judge's voice spoke. "I need hardly advise you, gentlemen, to lock your doors." Bloor said, "And what's more, put a chair under the handle. There are ways of turning locks from the outside." Lombard murmured, "My dear Bloor, the trouble with you is you know too much." The judge said gravely, "Good night, gentlemen. We may all meet safely in the morning." Rogers came out of the dining room and slipped halfway up the stairs. He saw 4 figures pass through 4 doors and heard the turning of 4 locks and the shooting of 4 bolts. He nodded his head. "That's all right," he muttered. He went back into the dining room. Yes, everything was ready for the morning. His eye lingered on the center plaque of Looking Glass and the 7 little china figures. A sudden grin transformed his face. He murmured, "I'll see no one plays tricks tonight, at any rate." Crossing the room, he locked the door to the pantry. Then going into the other door to the hall, he pulled the door to, locked it, and slipped the key into his pocket. Then, extinguishing the lights, he hurried up the stairs and into his new bedroom. There was only one possible hiding place in it, the tall wardrobe, and he looked into that immediately. Then, locking and bolting the door, he prepared for bed. He said to himself, "No more China soldier tricks tonight. I've seen to that."
Hi.
Chapter 11. 1. Philip Lombard had the habit of waking at daybreak. He did so on this particular morning. He raised himself on an elbow and listened. The wind had somewhat abated, but was still blowing. He could hear no sound of rain. At 8 o'clock the wind was blowing more strongly, but Lombard did not hear it. He was asleep again. At 9:30, he was sitting on the edge of his bed, looking at his watch. He put it to his ear. Then his lips drew back from his teeth in that curious, wolf-like smile characteristic of the man. He said very softly, "I think the time has come to do something about this." At 25 minutes to 10, he was tapping on the closed door of Bloor's room. The latter opened it cautiously. His hair was tousled, and his eyes were still dim with sleep. Lombard said affably, "Sleeping the clock round? Well, shows you've got an easy conscience." Bloor said shortly, "What's the matter?" Lombard answered, "Anybody called you, or brought you any tea? Do you know what time it is?" Bloor looked over his shoulder at a small traveling clock by his bedside. He said, 25 to 10. Wouldn't have believed I could have slept like that. Where's Rogers? Philip Lombard said, "It's a case of echo answers where." "What do you mean?" asked the other sharply. Lombard said, "I mean that Rogers is missing. He isn't in his room or anywhere else, and there's no kettle on, and the kitchen fire isn't even lit." Bloor swore under his breath. He said, "Where the devil can he be? Out on the island somewhere? Wait till I get some clothes on. See if the others know anything." Philip Lombard nodded. He moved along the line of closed doors. He found Armstrong up and nearly dressed. Mr. Justice Wargrave, like Bloor, had to be roused from sleep. Vera Claythorne was dressed.
What are you talking
Emily
about?
Brent's room was empty. The little party moved through the house. Roger's room, as Philip Lombard had already ascertained, was untenanted. The bed had been slept in, and his razor and sponge and soap were wet. Lombard said, "He got up all right." Vera said in a low voice, which she tried to make firm and assured, "You don't think he's hiding somewhere, waiting for us?" Lombard said, "My dear girl, I'm prepared to think anything of anyone. My advice is that we keep together until we find him." Armstrong said, "He must be out on the island somewhere." Bloor, who had joined them, dressed, but still unshaved, said, "Where's Miss Brent got to? That's another mystery." But as they arrived in the hall, Emily Brent came in through the front door. She had on a mackintosh. She said, "The sea is as high as ever. I shouldn't think any boat could put out today." Bloor said, "Have you been wandering about the island alone, Miss Brent? Don't you realize that that's an exceedingly foolish thing to do?" Emily Brent said, "I assure you, Mr. Bloor, that I kept an extremely sharp lookout." Bloor grunted. He said, "Seen anything of Rogers?" Miss Brent's eyebrows rose. "Rogers? No. I haven't seen him this morning. Why?" Mr. Justice Wargrave, shaved, dressed, and with his false teeth in position, came down the stairs. He moved to the open dining room door. He said, "Ha! Laid the table for breakfast, I see." Lombard said, "He might have done that last night." They all moved inside the room, looking at the neatly set plates and cutlery, at the row of cups on the sideboard, at the felt mats placed ready for the coffee urn. It was Vera who saw it first. She caught the judge's arm, and the grip of her athletic fingers made the old man wince. She cried out, "The soldiers! Look!" There were only 6 china figures in the middle of the table. 2. They found him shortly afterwards. He was in the little wash house across the yard. He had been chopping sticks in preparation for lighting the kitchen fire. The small chopper was still in his hand. A big chopper, a heavy affair, was leaning against the door. The metal of it stained a dull brown. It corresponded only too well with the deep wound in the back of Roger's head. 3. "Perfectly clear," said Armstrong. "The murderer must have crept up behind him, swung the chopper once and brought it down on his head as he was bending over." Blore was busy on the handle of the chopper and the flour sifter from the kitchen. Mr. Justice Wargrave asked, "Would it have needed a great force, Doctor?" Armstrong said gravely, "A woman could have done it, if that's what you mean." He gave a quick glance around. Vera Claythorne and Emily Brent had retired to the kitchen. "The girl could have done it easily. She's an athletic type. In appearance, Miss Brent is fragile looking, but that type of woman has often a lot of wiry strength. And you must remember that anyone who's mentally unhinged has a good deal of unsuspected strength." The judge nodded thoughtfully. Blore rose to his knees with a sigh. He said, "No fingerprints. Handle was wiped afterwards." A sound of laughter was heard. They turned sharply. Vera Claythorne was standing in the yard. She cried out in a high, shrill voice, shaken with wild bursts of laughter. "Do they keep bees on this island? Tell me that. Where do we go for honey?" They stared at her uncomprehendingly. It was as though the sane, well-balanced girl had gone mad before their eyes. She went on in that high, unnatural voice. "Don't stare like that, as though you thought I was mad. It's sane enough, what I'm asking. Bees, hives, bees. Oh, don't you understand? Haven't you read that idiotic rhyme? It's up in all your bedrooms, put there for you to study. We might have come here straight away if we'd had sense. 7 little soldier boys chopping up sticks, and the next verse. I know the whole thing by heart, I tell you. 6 little soldier boys playing with a hive. And that's why I'm asking, do they keep bees on this island? Isn't it funny? Isn't it damn funny?" She began laughing wildly again. Dr. Armstrong strode forward. He raised his hand and struck her a flat blow on the cheek. She gasped, hiccuped, and swallowed. She stood motionless a minute. Then she said, "Thank you. I'm all right now." Her voice was once more calm and controlled, the voice of the efficient game mistress. She turned and went across the yard into the kitchen, saying, "Miss Brent and I are getting you breakfast. Can you bring some sticks to light the fire?" The marks of the doctor's hand stood out red on her cheek. As she went into the kitchen, Blore said, "Well, you dealt with that all right, Doctor." Armstrong said apologetically, "Had to. We can't cope with hysteria on the top of everything else." Philip Lombard said, "She's not a hysterical type." Armstrong agreed. "Oh no, good, healthy, sensible girl. Just the sudden shock. It might happen to anybody." Rogers had chopped a certain amount of firewood before he had been killed. They gathered it up and took it into the kitchen. Vera and Emily Brent were busy. Miss Brent was raking out the stove. Vera was cutting the rind off the bacon. Emily Brent said, "Thank you. We'll be as quick as we can. Say half an hour to 3/4. The kettle's got to boil." 4. Ex-Inspector Bloor said in a low, hoarse voice to Philip Lombard. "Know what I'm thinking?" Philip Lombard said, "As you're just about to tell me, it's not worth the trouble of guessing." Ex-Inspector Bloor was an earnest man. A light touch was incomprehensible to him. He went on heavily. "There was a case in America. Old gentleman and his wife, both killed with an axe. Middle of the morning. Nobody in the house but the daughter and the maid. Maid, it was proved, couldn't have done it. Daughter was a respectable middle-aged spinster. Seemed incredible. So incredible that they acquitted her. But they never found any other explanation." He paused. "I thought of that when I saw the axe. And then, when I went into the kitchen and saw her there so neat and calm, hadn't turned a hair, that girl coming all over hysterical, well, that's natural. The sort of thing you'd expect, don't you think so?" Philip Lombard said laconically, "It might be." Bloor went on, "But the other, so neat and prim, wrapped up in that apron, Mrs. Rogers' apron, I suppose, saying, 'Breakfast will be ready in half an hour or so.' If you ask me, that woman's as mad as a hatter. Lots of elderly spinsters go that way. I don't mean go in for homicide on the grand scale, but go queer in their heads. Unfortunately, it's taken her this way. Religious mania. Thinks she's God's instrument, something of that kind. She sits in her room, you know, reading her Bible." Philip Lombard sighed and said, "That's hardly proof positive and of an unbalanced mentality, Bloor." But Bloor went on, ploddingly, perseveringly. "And then she was out, in her mackintosh. She said she'd been down to look at the sea." The other shook his head. He said, "Rogers was killed as he was chopping firewood. That is to say, first thing when he got up. The Brents wouldn't have needed to wander about outside for hours afterwards. If you ask me, the murderer of Rogers would take jolly good care to be rolled up in bed, snoring." Bloor said, "You're missing the point, Mr. Lombard. If the woman was innocent, she'd be too dead scared to go wandering about by herself. She'd only do that if she knew that she had nothing to fear. That's to say, if she herself is the criminal." Philip Lombard said, "That's a good point. Yes, I hadn't thought of that." He added with a faint grin, "Glad you don't still suspect me." Bloor said rather shamefacedly, "I did start by thinking of you, that revolver, and the queer story you told, or didn't tell. But I've realized now that that was really a bit too obvious." He paused and said, "Hope you feel the same about me." Philip said thoughtfully, "I may be wrong, of course, but I can't feel that you've got enough imagination for this job. All I can say is, if you're the criminal, you're a damn fine actor, and I take my hat off to you." He lowered his voice. "Just between ourselves, Bloor, and taking into account that we'll probably both be a couple of stiffs before another day is out, you did indulge in that spot of perjury, I suppose?" Bloor shifted uneasily from one foot to the other. He said at last, "Doesn't seem to make much odds now. Oh well. Here goes. Landor was innocent, right enough. The gang had got me squared, and between us, we got him put away for a stretch. Mind you, I wouldn't admit this if there were any witnesses," finished Lombard with a grin. "It's just between you and me. Well, I hope you made a tidy bit out of it." Didn't make what I should have done. Mean crowd, the Purcell gang. I got my promotion, though. And Landor got penal servitude and died in prison. I couldn't know he was going to die, could I? Demanded Blore. No, that was your bad luck. Mine. His, you mean. Yours, too. Because as a result of it, it looks as though your own life is going to be cut unpleasantly short. Me? Blore stared at him. Do you think I'm going to go the way of Rogers and the rest of them? Not me. I'm watching out for myself pretty carefully, I can tell you. Lombard said, Oh, well, I'm not a betting man. And anyway, if you were dead, I wouldn't get paid. Look here, Mr. Lombard. What do you mean? Philip Lombard showed his teeth. He said, I mean, dear boy, in my opinion, you haven't got a chance. What? Your lack of imagination is going to make you absolutely a sitting target. A criminal of the imagination of UN Owen can make rings round you any time he, or she, wants to. Blore's face went crimson. He demanded angrily, And what about you? Philip Lombard's face went hard and dangerous. He said, I have a pretty good imagination of my own. I've been in tight places before now and got out of them. I won't say more than that, but I think I'll get out of this one. 5. The eggs were in the frying pan. Vera, toasting bread, thought to herself, Why did I make a hysterical fool of myself? That was a mistake. Keep calm, my girl. Keep calm. After all, she'd always prided herself on her level-headedness. Miss Claythorne was wonderful, kept her head, started off swimming after Cyril at once. Why, think of that now. All that was over. Over. Cyril had disappeared long before she got near the rock. She had felt the current take her, sweeping her out to sea. She had let herself go with it, swimming quietly, floating, till the boat arrived at last. They had praised her courage and her sang-froid. But not Hugo. Hugo had just looked at her. God, how
Hi.
hurt. Even now, to think of Hugo. Where was he? What was he doing? Was he engaged? Married? Emily Brent said sharply, Vera, the toast is burning. Oh, sorry, Miss Brent. So it is. How stupid of me. Emily Brent lifted out the last egg from the sizzling fat. Vera, putting a fresh piece of bread on the toasting fork, said curiously, You're wonderfully calm, Miss Brent. Emily Brent said, pressing her lips together, I was brought up to keep my head and never make a fuss. Vera thought mechanically, repressed as a child. That accounts for a lot. She said, Aren't you afraid? She paused and then added, Or don't you mind dying? Dying. It was as though a sharp little gimlet had run through the solid congealed mess of Emily Brent's brain. Dying? But she wasn't going to die. The others would die, yes, but not she, Emily Brent. This girl didn't understand. Emily wasn't afraid, naturally. None of the Brents were afraid. All her people were service people. They faced death unflinchingly. They led upright lives, just as she, Emily Brent, had led an upright life. She had never done anything to be ashamed of, and so naturally she wasn't going to die. The Lord is mindful of his own. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. It was daylight now. There was no terror. We shall none of us leave this island. Who had said that? General MacArthur, of course, whose cousin had married Elsie Macpherson. He hadn't seemed to care. He had seemed, actually, to welcome the idea. Wicked, almost impious to feel that way. Some people thought so little of death that they actually took their own lives. Beatrice Taylor. Last night she had dreamed of Beatrice. dreamt that she was outside pressing her face against the window and moaning, asking to be let in. But Emily Brent hadn't wanted to let her in, because if she did, something terrible would happen. Emily came to herself with a start. That girl was looking at her very strangely. She said in a brisk voice, "Everything's ready, isn't it?
Huh?
We'll take the breakfast in." 6. Breakfast was a curious meal.
What?
Everyone was very polite. "May I get you some more coffee, Miss Brent?" "Miss Claythorne, a slice of ham?" "Another piece of toast?" 6 people, all outwardly self-possessed and normal. And within, thoughts that ran round in a circle, like squirrels in a cage. What next? What next? Who? Which? Would it work? I wonder. It's worth trying if there's time. My God, if there's time. Religious mania, that's the ticket. Looking at her, though, you can hardly believe it. Suppose I'm wrong. It's crazy. Everything's crazy. I'm going crazy. Will disappearing. Red silk curtains. It doesn't make sense. I can't get the hang of it. The damn fool. He believed every word I said to him. It was easy. I must be careful, though. Very careful. 6 of those little china figures. Only 6. How many will there be by tonight? Who'll have the last egg? Marmalade? Thanks. Can I cut you some bread? 6 people, behaving normally at breakfast.
Yeah, people are just going crazy. What the hell is going on? I'm trying to steal this thing.
Who do the characters suspect as a murderer? Well, don't like it. The silk curtains.
That's what I will do.
Ah. Okay. Ah! Hey! 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 Why? Why? What's wrong with it? Why? What's wrong with the pom pom? Like that. Pom pom? You want me to pom pom you? Hi. Hi. Ah, yeah, yeah. Why? Why?
Lapit na.
Why?
annoying, how annoying, Rami. What's wrong with it? Kasama mo mga bata. Kasi ano, bakit natin sa kasama sa little paper? Okay. I was like, little paper sa mga was, also doon sa kasa sa I'm trying to Very much. What is your plan? Like, okay now. Are they? Not planning to be a boss. No, that's it. Ano naman yung Okay. I like her. Secretary. Gabi! Gabi! Gabi lang, voice ko rin. You know them? You know them? How many are those? When you are lose you, so sadly in pain. I don't wanna really one more time. I'm losing you. I love you. Yeah.
Hi. Roll up. Okay. Voila. Hey. Wanna play some music? But I need to mute. Yeah, mute. Jesus, okay. Okay. Um. For, Yabe! Auto. Sorry, dude, after. Oh, I'm pretty sure it sounds so weird because like I'm sure it sounds so weird. Why don't they do that? Why do my classes go like, hey, it's due at 12 o'clock? Why don't they just have it due at 8 o'clock in the morning? Because sometimes people do it at night time. Sometimes people do their stuff at night. Bum 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 bum. Dum, 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 dum. Ba 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 da 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 da. Dun, 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 dun. I'm in the cassette. Hold on, pause. Yura, 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 yura. Ugh, I hate it. Ugh. I really need to get done. Okay, hold on. I need to do this quick. Oh, that's chapter 9. Go down. I forgot that part. But what am I listening to? What is this? Oh, close. But please say. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, I can play it, but I don't know if I'm gonna come there or not. I might actually. Mr. Blow, Mr. Blow, what are you doing? Armstrong said violently. Get out of here at all costs. Armstrong dropped his head in his hand and groaned. He said, in the meantime, we may all be burned in our beds. I hope not, said Mr. Rushworth. I intend to take every possible precaution against such a thing happening. It's dampened, but oh my god, I've hit this so many times already. I keep hitting my keyboard. Wait, the fourth person to die was not. Wait, was it Wargrave? No, Wargrave was the. Wait. Okay, so it was him first, right? No, no, no. Wait, no, no. Wait, what? Who was first? Now I'm second guessing it. Okay, hold on. Who was first? Okay, look. Okay, we got Armstrong. Okay, so we got here, right here. Yep. Yeah. So MacArthur, or no, no. Yeah, MacArthur was third death. The first two was it was what's his face first, Anthony, and then it was Miss Rogers, and then it was MacArthur, and then it was Rogers. Just what's his Mr. Rogers? I don't know, whatever his face is. So he was fourth. So I'm not wrong right here. But the answer is not does not lie within that murder. It was within the other murder. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, so it's after he died versus Sir Rogers. But do you not realize? Wait, what? Have you been wandering around the island alone, Miss Friend? Don't you realize this is an exceedingly foolish thing to do? I assure you, Mr. Bloor, I keep, what? I kept an extremely sharp lookout. Ba-da, 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 ba-da. See right here, right here. He'd been shopping, and then boom, headshot. Batman. Bum ba ba da bum 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 ba da bum ba da bum 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 ba da bum 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 ba da ba da ba bum 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 ba da ba da bum 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 ba da ba bum bum. Ba 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 ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Da-da-da-dun. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Amandoso. Papa. Para pa 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 para pa pa. Um. Hi. Okay, let's continue. Ah. Hi, hi, hi. Bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. What? I actually don't know. Da-da.
Here.
What? Ay, ay, ugh. Taba. Dun, 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 dun.
What's going on?
Somebody,
Back, I'm spinning them cheese cause you know you snack. Look at the telly, I be making caps, I make shit is so you know I be back. I'm spinning them cheese cause you know you snack. Look at the telly, caps, I make shit is today, and I made the whole rap. Hey, this is busting. This song's fire. Hey, y'all. Now we say, now we comes, hey. Finish butt, hey, looking so cute, shit, I'm about a nut, hey, this song is a really good song. This is a really good song. Yo, Daddy, how do you feel about this? Alright, ready? I'm gonna turn on my camera. You guys want to hear another one? I got you, hold up.
But Jones, you're like really like not attractive, bro. So you can't even get your thing. Oh, yo, never mind. You look sexy, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I call you that, bro. No cap, I call you that. Yeah, bro.
Mister.
No, we.
Mister.
Yo, you look stressed, bro. You just want us to leave, bro. You look really stressed right now, bro.
Cups.
We can go right there if we want to, bro.
Wait, do you want us to leave, mister?
Encourage you to look at this carefully.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Yes, you're right next to the teacher. So good.
What should I say? Yeah. What should I say? Can you hear me?
Colin, shut the fuck up. Alright, we're trying to learn right now. Shut the fuck up.
Can you hear me now?
Colin, shut the fuck up. We're trying to learn.
I'm
bro. Colin, you literally have an Android, bro. Shut up. Let the teacher learn. I'm so sorry. Excuse me? Lucas, you're looking kind of cute right now. I have a question. Why aren't you fucking me?
Alright, so...
Can nobody hear me?
Colin, shut up, bro. Colin.
I got this new phone and now
Hi, Miss Wong.
Hello.
Miss Wong, you're looking kind of cute right now.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay,
No
so let
way.
me go ahead and mark this here. How was your weekend? It was alright. It was alright. How was yours?
Bro, she's so nice. I feel like...
Yeah, I know it was the Super Bowl. I didn't watch it though. Anyone get into it?
Yeah, I was watching the Super Bowl. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Any good
Yeah,
commercials
my
this year?
mom was just spanking me during it because I was just acting up a little bit.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get started today. Okay. It's Mendelian genetics and beyond. All right, so we're gonna finish up with Mendel, and then we're going to continue on. Evan, you are talking a lot today. Why don't you come on camera so I can see you?
My mom broke my camera.
Okay,
Yeah, she
then.
was spanking me, so...
All right, you gotta be appropriate for class, okay? This is starting to get a little weird.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, let's get started. So Mendelian genetics, and beyond. Okay, I'm gonna have to kick you out, dude.
Daddy, chill. No. Oh, no, dude.
Yo, what are you wearing?
Yo, who said that, bro? Who said that, bro?
Nah, I don't know what the hell you're wearing, bro.
This is not a drip, bro.
Bro, shut up, bro. You act like Dude, he looks like Polo G. No cap. Mr. James? Has anybody ever told you you look like Polo G?
No, nobody's ever said that.
You look like the goat, Polo G. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I'm older than him, so he looks like me, dude.
oh yeah, facts.
Yo,
Looks
start
like
talking
you.
gay. Start talking gay.
Mr. James, can I just say you are looking fine as hell?
Nah, what?
Whoa. Cause the other one is way too soft.
I can't lie. You are looking bad. I like when you talk like that. No cap.
Mr. James, holy fuck, you're so cute.
James, can you just fuck me?
Like your mic is pretty bad.
You guys, mic's okay?
Oh my goodness,
What
guys.
is wrong?
Yeah, my mic's bad. I literally have to use my phone because, like, you know.
Miss, I don't think that's Claudia. I think that's D's.
Okay.
Excuse me, miss?
It was like not
I
even
think
letting me
D's might be in the
come out
class,
because
though.
Oh, fuck me.
It is a good day. That is facts. What is Dane doing, bruh? What is my boy Dane doing, bruh?
Jackson, you're cracking me up there.
Jackson, that's funny.
That's funny, man.
Excuse me, miss. Can I just say one thing real quick?
Sure.
Leah, you're looking beautiful today. I just want to let you know that.
Okay.
Wow.
Where did that?
Leah, you are looking pretty bad. Can I get your snap, though?
Okay. Who's saying?
You know that.
Oh, are you getting your Snapchat for us?
Nah,
Babe.
you but for real, kind of like send her through chat, you feel me?
Babe, can you
I
slide
mean,
the snap?
I do email also. So, I mean, if you just kind of hit me up.
What's happening here?
Babe, can you slide the snap?
Miss, I don't think Leah's listening actually. Leah, do you have it? Leah, do you have us turned down?
Yeah, I don't think she's paying attention to class.
Okay, we're focusing on class here today. I'm not sure what is happening
I
right
mean,
now.
Leah isn't focusing on class.
Leo's just sitting there on her phone.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, Miss.
I'm saying, Kristen.
Listen. Dude, she laughed. Yeah.
Alright,
More
wait.
of us need to join Pear Deck. More
Excuse
of us
me,
need
Mr. Asher?
What's that?
Mr. Asher, can you hear me?
Aiden, is that you?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Why is she fucking my ass?
My turn. I'm gonna do two. Excuse me, mister. I don't know what that was, but I also have a question.
Is it Justin?
Well, you're not fucking me, mister.
She is looking pretty thick. Mr. Loafer, can you rate my smoking 1 through 10?
Miss Resto, you're giving me some like stepsis vibes. That's what's going on here.
Yo, this man's wild, bro.
Dylan?
I said you had Snapchat. Like, you trying to drop it? You look pretty cute.
I'm gay.
You got email though?
No.
Okay, who said that Dylan contacted them? Because it's saying that you are Logan Davis, but I know you
She
are
at the
not
desk?
because Logan Davis is sitting here in class.
Miss, I think that's D. D's.
What?
I think that's D's. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell from his voice, but.
These nuts.
Atoms or molecules, things like that. We are working towards a quiz on this information, so. Yes.
Okay, I've been at it for
So, just know that we are going to be working towards that quiz, and our quiz will be on of what
I'm gonna
a
make my
road
mic
map can
really
kinda
loud.
look like.
Really
I will
loud.
say on our practice calculator, so what this is basically stating.
What the? Look, wait.
Yes.
Okay,
They
I'm
get-
gonna start getting plug it out and stuff. I don't know why.
It's like really loud.
Oh.
Well,
Is
let's
it
just
loud?
go ahead and mute yourselves and you're fine.
Sorry, it just keeps cutting out and stuff. It's like really weird. I don't know.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's just very loud.
Yeah, it's very loud.
You're good. Just go ahead.
Mom, my mic's not working.
Excuse me, man. Is D's in this class?
What did I do?
No, dude, I didn't get to do it.
A couple things in regards to labs.
Fuck me in my ass.
Porter, the first one.
I have a question.
Fuck me.
Let me work on getting everybody in points this morning.
You get me?
Actually, I had some other people try to come to the meeting before. That's why I look at the waiting room before.
My teachers do that to each other, and they call it like a.
Oh my god. Your daughter's kind of
and they
bad.
like pop into each other's meetings.
Mister, I had a question.
What's up, Faison?
How the fuck do you have a kid when your balls haven't dropped yet?
So bad.
I'm just wondering.
Wait, you moved me. What?
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
It's really where we all wish we could be right now, right?
I wish I could be there right now. Like,
Were you guys surprised with the call today to stay home today? I guess you
Things
guys
been getting like canceled, like around me. Like I just keep getting notifications.
Yeah, I guess you probably got more snow than me. That's why I'm surprised. I didn't get as much snow.
I got like a really good amount of snow.
But I guess it's good for the B group. They got 2 days.
Dominic, did you get a new phone?
Yeah, I can download music way better though. Like even though the quality is like really bad, my friend was able to drop a song. I literally could just do it like right away.
Okay, that's good.
Dominic, I like that song. Dominic, the camera.
No, your camera.
Obviously, use the chat on mute.
Mister, I have a question.
Hey, what's up?
Is D's in this class?
I'm sorry?
Is D's in this class?
No.
D's nuts? No!
Someone did LOL. Excuse me? You look like a fucking ball sack. I'm the real J.R. Cook.
Alright, we got pretty much everybody. Got from Jermaine, Jalen, Hector. So, those
That
people
dude's
in
not
this
in your
call.
class.
Victor, shut
That's
the fuck
not
up.
your
I'm
cook.
in the class. Victor, shut the fuck up. I'm in the class. Like, shut the fuck, bro. I'm literally in the fucking class, Victor.
Nah,
Shut
you're
the
not
fuck
talking
up.
to me, bro. That
Yo,
I'm not
Hector,
the
shut
one.
the fuck up. You literally
Yo, I really come for you, bro.
Hey,
Dude,
hey,
what
hey.
Love that. The teacher from 4024.
Allocating all bets.
Oh my god! Is that Harry Potter's father? You have the cape on and everything? Oh my god! Jamie Beto! Harry Potter's dad. Stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. That's not funny. Stop doing it. Harry Potter's dad. Calm down.
I don't know who they are.
Excuse me? I think you should
Hi.
kick this kid. I don't know. He's calling you Harry Potter's dad. But, like, he's right. I'm not gonna lie, but I think you should kick him.
We need to check his credentials because I'm not familiar with the name.
No, I think you need to check how to shut the fuck up. Yo, excuse me, Iridus, can I have your barber's number so I can block him real quick? Cause what the fuck is that cut, bro? Like, we're not in 2011 no more.
I'd suggest kicking those two.
Honestly, Paul, shut the fuck up. No one cares.
Yup, same one as Phil.
Shut up, Dominic. Shut up.
Luca, Dominic.
Shut up, Carmen.
Ow, Mom! Oh my god! I'm in class! Oh my god, Mom, stop! Oh my god, I'm gonna turn
Yeah, kick Carmen, the one that just does Carmen.
Yeah, this is me.
Honestly, Carmen, shut the fuck up. I'm the real Carmen.
So, we have two transfer rivers, and
Alright,
that is a
says-
problem because one of you is about to get kicked out.
Just say it. Quick,
Josh, you wanna speak up? What? I didn't f the cat. I'll be back. I'm sorry.
Alrighty. So, bye.
Bro, what are you wearing?
No,
What
kick
is
me.
that?
I can't fail this class. I cannot fail this class.
So
Bye.
this is Friday.
Hey,
What do you
sorry.
do?
I'm just trying to stay safe during this panoramic.
Mister.
What does it sound like?
More European.
Do the noise.
But my like, I don't think the quality's as good as it was. But can you actually see me?
Do the noise.
No, your voice is okay, but I'm seeing you
What is
sideways.
wrong? I don't know what's wrong with my phone.
I'm seeing you sideways though. We're seeing sideways. I want to see if.
But you can't see me, right?
That is
Mister, that's someone else.
Oh, Yvonne, let me go back to the screen so I can, is there a particular one, Yvonne, you're interested in?
Oh, I'm unmuted. I'm so sorry.
Christian.
Christian, you were unmuted. I'm sorry.
Okay, surgical procedure.
Mom, get the fuck out! I'm in class. Stop.
Yo, Jorge, you're unmuted, my boy.
No mute.
I'm so sorry, Mister.
Alright, George, don't let it happen again, alright, George? Alright.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Cardiograph.
Brandon, don't give me an attitude.
George, you stop.
That wasn't me. That was. No.
Yeah. Electrical cardiograph. Who's that? Who's still talking?
Yo, stop talking, bro. Oh my god.
Is that George Ramos?
Jorge, you're unmuted.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
You
Can you guys, like, stop unmuting?
When you stop disrupting class, yes, we will learn.
Okay, sir.
Xavier, I think your microphone is unmuted.
Brandon, fuck me. Yo, who
Landon.
was that?
George, you're getting a parent call. Landon, you're getting a parent call. Xavier, stop. You're getting a call too.
Xavier, really?
That was the meeting.
Stop. Mute your mic, Xavier. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Castellanos.
Oh my god, Mr. Can you please just get all phone calls from our mommies and daddies, please?
That was Hector. Hector, shut up.
Brandon, fuck me. Brandon, daddy, don't call.
Brandon, when you call my dad, make sure you call him daddy.
Alright, so I gotta fix that. Okay.
Get him, Mom. That's so wet.
Yeah.
Who's that? Kyle? Kyle, thank you, Kyle.
Mom, get out. Mom, not right now. Mom.
Kyle, thank you. Try to get.
Ready. Good morning, Daddy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
You have Android too?
What is this? What is she building? Oh. I thought it was it's a full-on build. Okay.
Yeah, so eat salt. Salt helps you retain water. But when you buy like Pedialyte, they have something called electrolytes. Electrolytes is actually like a combination of like different salts, like sodium, magnesium, potassium, etc.
What?
Things
What is
that
she
help
building?
your body make absorb water better. That's what electrolytes.
What is that?
That's why Pedialyte is so popular, because it has just the right ingredients to make your body hold on to all the stuff.
Neko Fuso. What? Fuso. What? What is
I'm almost
this?
done. This is my last runner.
Oh, it's literally. Oh, it's literally.
Are you building? I am building. I'm building very
Oh. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. What is this?
soon. Oxygen. Man,
What
the other day at work,
is this?
my boss,
That's really detailed though.
my senpai was like, did you know you actually breathe out 80% of your food through your nose?
What?
I was like, I did not need to know this. In the morning, this early in the morning, I'm going back to sleep. Good night.
What is this?
Science, man. Alright, finished
That's what you
cutting out all
building?
the pieces. I'm gonna get some water. I'll be back.
God. Okay. Okay. That hurt. What? What? Okay. That hurt. And then we'll go read after.
So my idea is we host a fashion show.
We'll go read
Let's
after
go.
this.
People come in here with their cameras on, and we rate their drip.
Can I be the mean judge?
Yes.
Okay, let's start by showcasing our fits. Everybody get your camera on.
Alright, so we got the 1 of 1 McDonald's jean jacket. We got the unreleased Crispy Concords 1 mil shirt.
Damn.
Just saying, you know, I'm fit to be a judge. Let's see what y'all are rocking. What do y'all got?
Alright, hold up. Let me get some lighting.
Get some light in there.
Hi, man.
Oh,
So-
shit. He dripped out.
So, I got the shorts.
The gym shorts.
They're not gym shorts.
The
polo. The polo shit. And that's it, yeah.
Dang. I'll show my drip.
Hype PD.
Yeah.
Damn. Fordo.
That's
Some
Mario
pants.
Damn, that's sexy.
Damn, bro.
Sir.
With my Nintendo Switch.
And the
Right
dog
here.
in the back just doing the scratches.
That's a cat, bro. That's a cat.
You guys look great.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's
Thank
start this video.
Let's see what
Let's
you
see yours,
wearing.
bro.
Let's see what you got.
So, we got the Ralph Laurent here, as you can tell.
Oh,
yes, sir. You got the nice hair, the silky fucking hair.
I'm going.
Oh, the Trackities. Damn. Not sponsored by Adidas though. Sponsored.
We're coming from 4 different realms of style right now. We're gonna have very unbiased opinions about these people.
Yep.
So, I guess let's
The
get
4 corners of fashion.
The 4 horsemen of fashion.
Are y'all ready for the first contestant?
Yes.
Sure
All right,
thing.
I'm dragging him in. Hello.
Hello, Vin.
Vin, are you there?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome
Hello.
to the fashion show, brother. You're the first contestant. Could you show us your drip?
Can I get that one-time drip check? I need that call.
Drip check.
Damn, bro.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Damn.
Can you do the voice impression too?
I don't know.
It's hard because you're the first person, so.
I'll send him to where do we send him?
Send him to the gulag.
You're going to the gulag, bro.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, man.
no
thanks
problem.
for thanks for coming out, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
Wait, we didn't vote. We should go
I
in
don't know
order.
how the.
It's
wait,
hard. It's hard to vote at the beginning. You know what I mean?
Should we
Like-
say
we
yes?
shouldn't-
I think
we
we
shouldn't
should say
compare.
yes or no.
Yes or no? Yeah. Okay, so he got a
Alright.
yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
we're,
yeah,
We're
he's a
learning.
yes.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
Hey. Welcome, buddy. You made it.
Oh
Show us
my
the
God.
drip, my friend. What do you got?
I'm ready. I'm ready. So basically,
Uh-oh.
I got the
Ah.
NASA. It's,
Uh-huh.
it's a shirt hoodie, right?
Okay.
And it's got the chain,
Oh.
black jeans,
Black
Air Force Ones, white.
Okay.
And also, I got a baby hand.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey
What
man,
do you
yo,
think?
high
Yeah.
five real quick.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, just show us the full fit and do a 360 spin.
Alright,
Okay, we got you the NASA, the
look at me,
chain
man.
pants.
Ah, the black on black on black. It's very urban, you know?
I'll give him a yes. You need 3
Yeah.
yeses.
Yes.
That's 2. Anyone? Hyper, what do you think?
You know, man, it's not really my style to be honest. And
Yeah, it doesn't look like your style, man.
it doesn't. No. So while I respect your outfit, I'm gonna have to give you a no.
Alright, understandable.
Up to me then. Have you been to space?
Of course, man. Look who you're talking to.
What's your favorite planet?
Venus.
Ooh, that's a yes for me.
All right. Congrats, man. You mad.
Also, crispy.
Yeah.
I'm from Atlanta, and I live in Atlanta right now, bro. That's crazy. Just want to let you know that.
You want to go on a date?
I gave him a yes.
Yeah. I want to be your new Omegle girlfriend.
You could be my Discord
Okay.
guy instead of Amigo girl.
Yeah.
You can be my Discord guy. All right, man.
Dang it, man.
I'll see you after the
Alright, see
show,
ya,
man.
see ya.
All right. All right. Let's take a look at Trippy. Let's see what he's got. Mr. Trippy.
Show us what you got.
Oh, what's good?
What's good, bro?
Damn, dude got the grills though.
Damn! Yeah, summertime got the winter jacket on.
The
Okay.
jacket
No.
with the chain, the contrast there. I'm gonna give it a yes.
Okay,
I
no.
like the shirt quite a
No.
lot and the chain.
That's a no. For me. That's Hey, you can't. Wait, did I actually make it? I thought.
I reckon Spider-Man is the coolest superhero. And other than super strength, super speed, and an even worse work-life balance, the only thing that separates me from him are his webs. So, let's do something about that. Specifically on replicating Spider-Man's web as closely as possible. In the movies, it generally looks like this. It's like a rope made from scaled-up spider silk that's strong enough to stop a train and sticky enough to swing from. Now, Peter Parker just throws together some chemicals to make this, which seems like pure science fiction. But it turns out there are a few simple ways to actually produce a fiber from liquid without needing industrial equipment. The one I'm going to do now is actually a super cool way of making viscose, also known as rayon, also known as artificial silk. So to do this process, I'm going to need some sulfuric acid, some ammonia, and also a rock. Malachite specifically. Turns out that malachite is almost pure basic copper carbonate. So I took some chips of it, and like any good chemist, I smashed the heck out of it with a hammer until I had a fine powder. When I add the malachite to the ammonia, it turns a very satisfying blue color. And this compound is uniquely able to dissolve cellulose, which is the primary material in wood and also cotton wool. Once that's all dissolved, I can fill a syringe and extrude it into this sulfuric acid, where it forms these strands of artificial silk. So this is really cool. It seems like a very straightforward way of making webs. I should be swinging around in no time, right? Well, not quite. So this is artificial silk, but why is it so weak? Well, on a molecular level, a polymer is made from small groups of atoms called monomers, which connect end to end with other monomers to form a chain. Different monomers produce chains with different strengths, but that's not the whole story. Making these chains longer dramatically increases the strength of your finished product. Like this Ziploc bag. It's made of polyethylene, where the chains are, I'm guessing, around 200 monomers long, and it's not very strong. But those same monomers, in chains of like 200,000, makes the strongest fiber in the world. More than twice the strength of real spider silk and, well, probably several thousand times the strength of my attempts. Unfortunately, it's really hard to make the chains that much longer, so they need to use some complicated and expensive industrial processes to achieve it. So instead of reinventing the turbojet engine, I'll just use some of this pre-made ultra-strong fiber. Even if I could make this exact material from liquid, this is just a lot less messy. Alright, so I've got my rope. Now all I need is a way to make it stick, and that's got to be pretty strong, because if my web unsticks while swinging, you know, that'll be a pretty sticky situation. Or, wait. So I explored a whole bunch of concepts of how this could work, like electromagnets, superglue, vacuum pads, and more. Some of these ideas were interesting, but some quick math showed me that they were going to be impractical. Other ideas were just stupid. But I did the maths anyway, and threw everything onto a matrix, so that way I look like I know what I'm doing. The crucial thing here is that whatever I made needed to be cheap and simple, because Spider-Man leaves hundreds of these webs all over the city. And that thought led me to Velcro. Now obviously Velcro is way too weak for this, but the way it works is with a bunch of hooks sticking to a bunch of loops. And I thought, well, maybe I can make like a super Velcro using Dyneema loops and steel hooks. The steel hooks were the hard part. I designed and tested so many prototypes before I finally arrived at this design. The pinnacle of functional simplicity. Then I used some math and a stress simulation to find exactly the smallest size I could get away with if I used high strength alloy steel. So I had the hooks laser cut by a nearby shop and I was ready to go. Well, I needed to quickly grind off the sharp edge first. Now I've been working really hard to make sure that this web is as secure as possible. But maybe you're concerned about a different kind of web security in the membership. In test cases where the end result seems kind of basic. But that's the funny thing with engineering design. Simplicity is one of the hardest things to achieve. And often you have to take a tour of complex ideas before you can know how to make something simple. Okay, that's enough backstory. Let's go back to that stunt facility you saw at the beginning of the video so I can test this thing out. Cool, so I'm here with my web, and together with... Where is Ross, actually? Whoa! And together with Ross, we're going to see if we can do some tripping and disarming.
You almost caught it!
That was brilliant, that is.
Hey, I think that worked.
That was cool, but the real test is going to be trying to swing from this. And I don't know about you, seems like this would be really hard to hold. So I could try wrapping it around my hand like Spidey does in the comics, but man, that just seems so unpleasant. So I brought this gym ring to hold on to. Got my rip-off Miles Morales safety wear, and well, let's give this a shot, eh? Well, that was terrible. It's mostly my fault, I think. I'm sure I can do this. Hang on. There we go. Alright, and then whoop. Seems steady, so hey, it worked! Ta-da! Well, that works. But Spider-Man can't just sit there waiting to see if the hook is going to catch on or not, right? Sometimes he just needs to take a leap of faith. So let's adjust our setup a little bit and give it a go. Yes! This is great. Ross, you want to go?
Totally. Let me at it.
We did a lot more testing than I'm showing here, and the hook chain honestly had a really high success rate as long as we timed it right. I'd say not even that far from 100%.
What were you saying about that 100% success rate?
Well, it's down to 90 now. Mine is still 100. There is one thing that I really do want to try. Let's see if it works.
Okay, Spider-Man! Don't flip!
Okay, well this is tremendously fun. I'm really happy with it. But you're probably thinking, it would be way
Hi, hi.
What's going on, everyone? Thanks for checking out this Resident Evil 8 Village video. In this one, I'm going to be showing y'all what happens when we take this missing slab that we can find in the game. Something really interesting. A little secret to So yeah, the reason why he said slab is located at this crypt, we can you've actually gotten through the dollhouse area. So yeah, let's go ahead and pick up this broken slab. Let's get the first name here. That's part of to where it belongs. June 1909 to August 1919. May you slumber for only a short while. That ending is Eva's grave is insane. This is Mother Miranda's daughter's grave right here. Odd, but something pretty cool I thought I'd point the slab back to where it belongs. Where we go to actually put this slab back to this grave, to the ceremony site with, and just take the route. System here. We're gonna there'll be this path that you can say trek back here south. There. This giant's like back. You might be having back. And then you can just put some shots into him from here. And yeah, just rinse and repeat that cycle. If you are having trouble against this guy, this is a nice tactic to use. Also, there will be oh, daggone it. He got a little hit. Crystal axe. And speaking of zombies, yeah, thing just came out of nowhere, out of the ground. Okay, but yeah, that giant crystal axe is really valuable. You can sell that for a lot. I've actually covered that in a previous video. You can actually encounter this. Decide to add in these little, making it more enjoyable discovering this kind of stuff. But yeah, now let's go ahead and put this missing slab back to where it belongs on this creepy grave here. As you see, this is actually Claudia Beneviento's grave, and when we open it, we'll find a chalice that was owned from one of the founders of this place. So this treasure is very valuable. There were only 4 founders to this mysterious place that we're at, and this happens to be something that was owned from one of those founders. Also, when we go to pick this up, it states that Claudia was born on 1987 and passed away 1996. So she wasn't old whatsoever. She was only a 9-year-old child. Since now seeing all. Before I wrap this, so first off, we took out that beast that seemed to be protecting Claudia's grave or something. And when we took it out, we got this giant crystal axe that we can sell for, as you can see, 30k. So 30k alone for just that one item. And for the chalice that we got, we can sell for 18k.
I'm gonna go. Yep. Here. Actually, let's do this. Uh,
So, it's Christmas. I'm all alone. I didn't want to risk going home and get my parents.
Nationwide is on your side. Alam mo, putragis na bata to.
What?
Mami, Gian is reading book with no lights.
Yes.
Tapos na ba yung homework mo?
No.
Okay, bakit ka nagbabasa pa? Ano yan, homework ba yan?
Yeah.
Ha?
Yep.
Ano yung mata mo, lagi mo sinisira.
It's not even on. What happened? Why is it impossible? Oh no.
If you're like most people, when you try and load a Nintendo cartridge into a NES, you'll push it in, you'll open it up, push it in, click it down, turn the system on, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't work, you'll take it out, blow into it, and try again. This is not the best way to do it. Blowing into the cartridge doesn't actually help anything. In fact, the moisture from your breath might just make things worse. The only way blowing into the cartridge would help is if there was actually dust in it, and unless you can visibly see dust, it's probably not an issue. The main problem with a NES anyway is that people push the cartridge in too far. So the contacts on the cartridge go past the contacts in the system and they don't line up. So the best way to put the cartridge in so that it works almost every time is you want to put it in, and then as soon as you start to feel resistance, you want to push down. Now you're not going to be able to push it down all the way because the cartridge isn't in far enough. So you want to just gently push it very slowly until you're able to push the cartridge down so that it clicks. Just like that. That might work for you. If it doesn't, you might want to push it in just a little bit more, about the width of maybe a credit card. So if you could slip a credit card between the console and the cartridge, that's probably about the width you want. And then you want to nudge it just a little bit to the left. I'm not sure why nudging it to the left helps, but it does. And you close your system and you turn it on, and that should work.
Caleb might get a concussion. I might as well start a little series about automation.
Hot Wheels released a Cybertruck RC car. Shit! I'm gonna do this with a real one. It's time for another behind-the-scenes look at what happens here at Hacksmith Industries. We've got an exciting week ahead.
Is that 3 kilograms? Yep. Jeez. You know what they say about big printers? Gotta have big rolls of filament. It's actually funny because one of the first 3D printer sponsorships we ever gotten was from Lulzbot, and we still have that printer. That is a massive spool.
That's 3 kilograms of Lulzbot green. This is the exciting box. Bogdan, you're gonna love this one. Fully
Dissolvable, yes.
This filament can be printed out with the printer. It'll work with PLA, ABS, and other filaments. And then when you put the part in water, this stuff will just dissolve into the water, leaving the full part on its own. This one's also really cool. Oh, yes. Polymax PC, polycarbonate.
The only thing that's technically stronger than polycarbonate is nylon, but nylon is really difficult to print. Having this actually be fully supported by Lulzbot means that hopefully we should just be able to hit a button and print with some of the strongest and some of the best filament around. I want to open this. I mean, it feels like any other filament. I don't know what I expected. Actually, the windows we made on the Cybertruck, which were, you know, impact resistant, were polycarbonate. And you saw how strong those were. Like, we threw a metal ball, just bounced right off. So polycarbonate is really cool.
I'm guessing this is another box of 3 kilogram spools, but we'll find out. That's the best part of this.
Oh, those are the accessories.
This is accessories. This is 1.2 millimeter high-speed head. This is the equivalent to the Morse readers that we have on the previous printers. Just a massive nozzle putting out a crap ton of filament. Other weird materials. And this stuff. So hugged in.
What is this? Highly flexible nylon. So, remember how just a few minutes ago I said that the only thing better than polycarbonate is nylon? If we can print with this consistently and easily, it'll be a complete game changer. Highly flexible. This is flexible. What is? That is really impressive. Yeah, grab a spool of PLA. Show what happens if you do that with PLA.
Oh, this stuff isn't breaking.
That's flexible PLA, Ben. Grabs the non-breakable PLA. So these two look absolutely identical, and that's, I mean, because they're both the same color. But chemically, in the actual plastic is very, very different. So watch this. PLA. See that? Nylon. That is incredible. That'll mean we can make things, like, I would not be surprised if you could hang on this. Actually, I want to try.
Yep. No. The knot untied.
The knot untied didn't even break. Okay, let's try this one more time. Hopefully that knot doesn't untie. That's a proper rock climbing knot there. Ooh, that's really scary still. On a piece of 3D filament. Tell me what else can do that.
Rope.
Okay.
Here's some more filament. See what it is. More 3D fuel. Cool. Harvest Gold. PLA. And then more PLA. This is orange PLA. Look at that. That's a nice orange. So, when I was out for a walk having fun this weekend, I got a message from James and it was, hey, can you print this thing on a printer this week? And I said, sure, why not? So I looked up the GradCab link and it was these lightsabers. So, came in on Monday and printed them. 40 hours later, they're done. Let's take a look. Awesome. These look great. I'm gonna go take them to James. So James, got these lightsaber parts that you wanted.
Man, that print quality is awesome. Like 8 years ago, when I worked in the engineering industry, like this would be a freaking expensive part to make. Like, this would be like several $100s. And for us, what would it cost? Like,
that would have been about
$10 in
that would
material?
have been, yeah, $5 to $10 in resin.
And we've already got the machine. And damn, nice, nice work.
Are they katana lightsabers?
Ahsoka's lightsabers, because she's got one big one and one small one, but I think the lightsaber lengths are the same. So like, why? I guess we'll find out in the next season. Maybe.
Hey, I need some content.
Is this a microphone? Damn.
What's the whiteboard for?
So I figured since we did a video last time about the awesome little doorbell, it's not really a doorbell, it's a speaker to announce stuff. I might as well start a little series, very tiny mini series about automation and what we're going to be doing at the shop, what we have at the shop and how it works. But before we start that, I'm going to have to link everybody to this video because here I'll be explaining how it's all connected. Could grab that same message and do the required actions with that notification. These two are mere
Technically, it's not impossible. Technically not impossible. It's just that you're wait, what is
趣味が詰まっているということで、結構A ちゃん何してる人なのっていう風に結構聞かれることも多いんですけれども、なんていうかこう特定のことをなんていうかあんまりポジション名とかっていうのをつけたくないので、あえてスタッフと名乗っていたりするんですが、まあこう
Okay, paano ka matatapos?
What? Yeah!
Anong oras ka na naman matutulog?
Pagkain.
Okay, ano bang kailangan mong gawin dyan?
Read.
And then?
That's it. The whole thing. The rest of it.
Okay, di dumahiga ka na dun sa bed. Mag-toothbrush ka na. Doon ka na sa bedroom kaysa nandito.
I'm okay.
Sinabi ko, tingnan mo yung medyas mo kung nandito.
Medyas! Is it safe for work? I don't know. I don't know. What on?
こういうことにも携わってたりしますし、なんか新しい企画の時に召喚っていう感じで召喚されたりもしますし、こうやって放送もしたりしますしっていう感じで、なんかいろいろやってますね。みんなのなんでしょう、みんなからなんか相談を受けたりとかっていうこともありますね。なんかこれどう思うとか、これでいいんじゃないですかとかっていうこうラフな相談とか受けたりとか、なんかこうあんまり特定の職業って言いますかポジションつけたくないのであんまり言ってないところもあるんですが、なんかこう新しい時になんでしょう、空とやっぱり2人でやっていた時に何と言いますか、結構まるっといろいろ経験させていただいたので、そういうところがなんかこう今のやっていることにも結びついているのかもしれません。という感じでこういろんなところにちょっとずつ出没する人です。ただマネージャーではありませんっていう感じですね。マネちゃんではないですね。たまに私をマネージャーさんだと思っている方もいるんですが、マネちゃんはまた別にいて、マネちゃんはこの前スイカの残高がなくて挟まってました私より早く行ったのになんか挟まってました。そういう感じのマネちゃんですという感じでございます。はい、あと武器に
How do you? What the heck, dude?
Could I get a Doritos Locos Taco?
Doritos Locos Taco. Colonel, what's the procedure?
That's a taco with a special shell, Snake. Made not from an ordinary corn tortilla, but designed to evoke a famous tortilla chip. Packed with extreme flavor. Substitute the shell and prepare the rest of the taco normally.
Got it. Excuse me. Customer. There's both Cool Ranch and nacho cheese shells here. Which would you prefer?
Cool Ranch, please.
On it.
What the heck?
Go. The rest of you, stay above ground. N2 explosive.
You. Are you saying I was manufactured?
I was to become a god. Creating a new world with an advanced race of human beings. However, all was lost with Raccoon City. Despite that setback, your creation still holds great significance.
Honestly though, I think Ame's outfit, you guys are gonna be blown away too. I'll just leave it at that.
I'm married. Okay. What's
Is very stylish. Oshare. I think that's the word, right?
what the heck? Oh. Best. Akara. Why is it stuck here?
Remain seated and wait until a cast member arrives to assist you. We thank you for your patience and your cooperation. In your dune buggies until a cast member arrives to assist you. We do thank you for your patience and for your cooperation.
Can you help me with this one?
What are you talking about?
While Titanfall 2 was an off-ness gem in 2016, suddenly longtime players are posting videos stomping on hordes of new players. That's right, new players. The game just had one of its best weeks in years, but why now, and what exactly have new players been missing all this time? This is why Titanfall 2's resurgence is well deserved, and why, 5 years after the fact, people are just now discovering its brilliance. Despite being one of the best FPS series out there, the franchise of Titanfall has been perpetually f***ed, and royally. Titanfall developer Respawn was co-founded by Vincent Pella and Jason West, who broke away from Activision after a dispute. You see, the pair co-founded Infinity Ward, who created, oh, I don't know, one of the biggest gaming series of all time.
For those of you who've seen your first action, welcome to the big time.
Call of Duty, which, while successful, would hit meteoric new heights of popularity with Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. But when ownership, rights, and bonuses came into dispute, Zampella and West broke away, forming a brand new company to be backed by EA, Respawn Entertainment. With a reputation for great games and funding secured, the brand new team revealed their first project to be released in 2014, Titanfall. However, this is when things went awry the first time. 2013 and 2014 marked the start of a brand new console war, one between the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Titanfall was locked in as an exclusive to the Xbox One and Windows via Origin, and would be one of the first Xbox One games releasing just a few months after the system itself. But as the console war pressed on, the PlayStation 4 proved to be the victor, and Titanfall was quickly forgotten. While Titanfall received massive praise and reviews and Best of awards, the game lacked any form of a traditional single player, leaving many potential customers uninterested. EA never released sales figures, and the initial buzz quickly died, with its 1 month later Xbox 360 release receiving relatively small press. But it was still a great game. Respawn had honed each mechanic to perfection. The smoothness and speed of wall running, the ability to learn and perfect speedy routes on maps, the relationship between pilots and their Titan. It's easy to forget that before Titanfall, mechs in many games were clunky, hard to control, and often had no escape. But in Titanfall, the cycle of farming grunts, killing pilots, calling in a Titan, and then ejecting to do it all over again, often without dying, had a sublime loop. Respawn even designed the Smart Pistol, which auto-targeted enemies so that older players could enjoy the game by focusing more on movement than aiming. Even the leveling system was different. To become a Gen 10 pilot, you were forced to learn to get good with a wide variety of weapons and Titans rather than just stick to your favorite loadout. And fortunately, a sequel was announced and set to release cross-platform in 2016. Titanfall 2 would feature a revamped multiplayer and include a more traditional single-player campaign, as opposed to the original game telling its story through story-focused multiplayer matches. But despite having an incredible property on their hands, EA decided to release its much-anticipated Battlefield on October 21, 2016, and Titanfall 2 the following week, October 28, 2016. Meanwhile, Activision's Call of Duty Infinite Warfare was set to release just 1 week after that, November 4, 2016. So, for whatever reason, Titanfall 2's release was sandwiched in between the newest entries of the two largest first-person shooter franchises around. So it's unsurprising the game got lost in the shuffle. To add insult to injury, Doom 2016 had also released just a few months prior the same year. So while Titanfall 2 featured not only an incredible multiplayer experience, over a year of free post-launch content, including new weapons, a Titan, maps and modes, and also a refined and fast-paced first-person shooter campaign, most media and praise was centered around Doom's return to the spotlight and its own incredible single player. Despite all of this, and a release window that worked against them, Respawn took the Titanfall universe back to the drawing board. They began work on a title that they had to convince EA to allow them to make, and one that would end up being one of EA's most successful shooters at the time, following the troubling launches of Battlefront 2 and Anthem, Apex Legends. Despite being a fantastic battle royale game set in the Titanfall universe, it wasn't the game that longtime Titanfall fans had hoped for. It didn't have wall running or even Titans.
Yeah, that was what was
definitely
missing
didn't
for me.
tackle a pretty big cliffhanger around what happened to BT at the end of Titanfall 2. Upon Apex Legends release, Respawn revealed Titanfall 3 wasn't even in development, though followed up by saying a new Titanfall experience is being worked on. Even then, Titanfall fans kept playing and explaining to Apex players where the game had come from, and at least recently, it seems to have paid off. And finally, we come to 2020, where Titanfall 2 was released outside of Origin and to Steam. This definitely bolstered the player base, but this past weekend took the crown. From April 30th to May 3rd, Titanfall 2 was made free to play on Steam, and its numbers skyrocketed, hitting its highest ever concurrent player base. So, now that there's a brand new swell of players hitting Titanfall 2, it turns out they've been missing one of the best shooters outside of Battlefield and Call of Duty. Its movement mechanics are absolutely astounding, and Apex Legends owes almost all of its design to it. Pilots in Titanfall can seamlessly parkour across environments, running along walls and double jumping. All of this feels incredibly intuitive and smooth, making the pilot the agile mouse in what's essentially a blown-up game of cat and mouse. The Titans form the cat in this analogy, with them being slower and more lumbering, but more devastatingly powerful. And as a pilot, you're allowed to act as both the cat and the mouse, as you can freely pilot a Titan or exit when situations get sticky. It's this well-crafted balancing act between the two elements and fantastic multiplayer map design that makes Titanfall 2 stand out amongst its competitors. The game took what was an award-winning multiplayer that not many had played from the original game and iterated on it further to hammer in on what made it fun and what could be added to further explore those concepts. Even the single player was incredibly well crafted, with a slew of unique mechanics and interesting areas regularly being presented to the player and immediately taken away once the mechanics started to grow stale. Take the 5th mission, Affecting Cause, which sees your protagonist jumping back and forth on the time stream. This mechanic was introduced in this mission, fleshed out in an organic and fun way, and then immediately dropped as soon as players complete the mission before the mechanic overstays its welcome. Another personal love of mine was the 4th mission, Into the Abyss, which involved ever-increasing platform challenges which test your skills as a pilot in a super creative way. The mission also featured you breaking into and out of dynamic testing facilities, varying the terrain, and allowing for Titan battles within the level. The fact that some of these facilities were constructed after you had platformed onto them was only the icing on the cake. All of this was made possible thanks to Respawn's design philosophy of action blocks. In designing Titanfall 2, the team focused on making everything shine through gameplay, so they would have designers, typically on their own, create exceedingly quick prototypes of different creative ways to play the game. If these didn't work, the idea was quickly scrapped. But if it worked, it was then iterated on. This allowed for them to eventually build out 45 different action blocks with unique types of gameplay. While not all made it directly into the game, the overall idea and tone would. So, now that even more players have been introduced to Titanfall 2, the question of Titanfall 3 still lingers, and if it will ever happen. Last we heard, according to Vincent Pella, due to the success of Apex Legends, the company's resources would be focused on supporting that, and Titanfall 3's plans would be pushed a little further. This was over a year ago, so we can only hope that Titanfall 2's recent rise in popularity means that we'll actually hear something a little more concrete about a 3rd installment. And speaking of which, here are some things we hope to see in a Titanfall 3. Well, we have a lot of ideas for what we want to see, but let us know in the comments if you'd like to see a video about that or what you'd want in the Titanfall 3. And if you enjoyed this video, we'd appreciate a like and subscribe to show us that you'd like more. And I'll see you guys next time.
Like, I'm pretty sure they know what we want. That's good. Ah.
おとちゃんは本当天使だよ。私、おとちゃんが本当好き。大好き。私の子供たちはみんな天使だよ。天使。クレムリンって実は意味わからないけど今調べてみる。なんかアメちゃんってめっちゃ似合う言葉だと思ってるんだけど意味はわからない。 クレムリン。クレムリンって何？クレムリンの意味がわかんないな。あー、わかんない。めっちゃ似合うって思ってたんだけど、クレムリンってアメリアなの？アメリアイスクレムリンクレムリン意味はわかんない。クソ楽器。あ、そっかそっか。クソ楽器って意味なのか。めっちゃ似合う。ごめんな、めっちゃ。でもめっちゃ可愛くて似合うじゃん。
No, it's not. What are you talking about? Oh, it's not. What do you want about? What are you? Okay. What? Shinobu? Yeah. This is what we're doing. This. Volume 2. 99. Huh? Oh yeah, 96 to. What is this? Wait, what is this last page? Oh, it's a bonus. Oh, okay.